Welcome to Chapter 6, Introduction to Removal Proceedings. This video provides an overview of the process by which a non-citizen may be deported from the United States. By the end of this video, you will be able to define removal proceedings, identify the stages of a removal case, understand the roles of key participants, describe the steps in hearings, and explain how relief applications are handled. We will be discussing several key terms throughout this chapter, including Notice to Appear, or NTA, Master Calendar Hearing, Individual Hearing, and different types of relief from removal. Removal proceedings are a civil administrative process to determine if a non-citizen must be removed from the U.S. It is an adversarial process overseen by the Executive Office for Immigration Review, with high stakes, including the risk of family separation. Respondents have rights to counsel, to present evidence, and to appeal. Proceedings begin when the Department of Homeland Security issues a Notice to Appear, or NTA. The NTA details the respondent's information, allegations of alienage, charges of removability, the legal basis for removal, and the initial hearing details. Once filed with the EOIR, the case is officially open. Removal cases follow a structured path. After the NTA is served and filed, the Master Calendar Hearing involves entering pleadings and setting deadlines. This is followed by filing relief applications, the individual hearing, the immigration judge's decision, and, finally, the possibility of an appeal. In removal proceedings, the burden of proof is divided. DHS must prove alienage and removability. Their respondent, however, must prove their eligibility for relief, credibility, and corroboration when required. Different forms of relief carry varying burdens. Respondents have several options for relief, including asylum, withholding of removal, Convention Against Torture Protection, cancellation of removal, and adjustment of status. Other options include waivers, SIJS, VAWA, TPS, and voluntary departure. Each form has unique requirements. Voluntary departure allows a respondent to leave the U.S. without a formal removal order. Benefits include avoiding the 10-year bar and potentially having a better chance of returning legally later. It may be granted before or after the conclusion of proceedings, but requires good moral character. Removal proceedings matter because they determine whether families can remain together, if asylum seekers receive protection, if long-term residents stay in the U.S., and if individuals face danger abroad. Understanding this process is vital for effective advocacy. These questions explore the nature and critical stages of removal proceedings and are intended to prompt deeper thought on the material presented in this chapter. Test your understanding of the chapter with these assessment questions, covering the start of proceedings, events in the Master Calendar Hearing, the burden of proof for relief, and the definition of voluntary departure. Our case study focuses on Amina Hassan, a 29-year-old Sudanese pro-democracy activist. Her procedural status involves a Master Calendar Hearing, entry of pleadings, and identification of relief, centered on transitioning from persecution to integration. Amina's case is built on a well-founded fear of targeted persecution for her political opinion. The context includes 2 arrests and direct threats from national security forces. She seeks legal protections through asylum, withholding of removal, and the Convention Against Torture. The case relies on documentary exhibits for credibility, including photographic evidence, medical reports, affidavits, and the official U.S. State Department Country Conditions Report on Sudan. Her claims are corroborated by a robust evidentiary record, ensuring her fear is documented, not speculative. This chapter focuses on Amina's integration into the Del Rio community. Defense witnesses, including her employer, a neighbor, and a parish priest, will testify to her strong moral character and deep community ties. The government's case summary notes Amina is a 29-year-old Sudanese respondent who overstayed her tourist visa and was apprehended in Del Rio. Her core claim is a well-founded fear of persecution due to her political activism. Government witnesses will include a U.S. expert and a Sudanese embassy representative. The government's argument, represented by Sam McCord and Susan Atwell, is that reports of systematic repression in Sudan are overstated by political dissidents. They maintain that current security measures are necessary for stability. In the pleadings, Amina's team admitted the factual allegations of identity and entry and conceded the visa overstay. They contest removability based on her pending asylum application. They requested a 60-day window for final evidence submission and requested an individual hearing date.